Hello everybody, welcome back. Once again, we're playing Baldur's Gate 3, going through the Dark Urge playthrough and getting the maximum amount of experience as we can. The first thing that we're starting with, though, is a little bit of companion approval within the camp, and that is with Scratch. Now, Scratch, I had a conversation with in one of the prior videos, basically told him to come back to the camp, you know, if his owner didn't wake up or if his friend didn't wake up, however that was. And so now I'm just popping a potion of animal, what is it? Animal speaking? Something like that. Animal friendship. And basically what you need to do, though, is you still need to do a long rest, right? So then Scratch will come to your camp at that point. And then the next thing here, I noticed that when you have the conversation with Scratch, there's actually 4 companions that can get some approval. One of them is Will, one of them is Gale, one is Shadowheart, and the last one is Karlach. But the problem is, in the wilderness camp, you know, they're kind of spread out, and especially Shadowheart, she's kind of off on her own. And so what I did here was I put them in my party, and then went into turn-based mode and moved them as close to Scratch as I could get. You can actually wait for Scratch to move into a different position as well, and that can help too. But the problem is, there's basically a radius to his conversation, and the companions that are within his radius will gain the approval. Again, aside from Astarion and Lysel, they will not get approval from this conversation, so you don't need to worry about them. But again, the other 4 will, assuming that they are within you know, the correct radius of Scratch. So at that point, you just pet him, and you will get the approval. With those 4 again, Gale, Shadowheart, Will, and Karlach. So, you know, kind of a pain actually, but I did notice, and that's actually pretty interesting, because a lot of the other conversations in the game are handled in the exact same way, where, you know, let's just say one of the companions will lose approval due to your answer in a conversation. And what you do, or what I've noticed, is that even if you send them to camp, if you still activate that conversation too soon, they will still be in range even though they're walking, you know, back to camp. And so oftentimes you have to wait quite a bit longer for them to get out of range of the conversation. You know, basically they can still overhear you if they're too close, and they will then, you know, disapprove of certain conversational, you know, answers that you do. So again, I guess just keep that in mind. You know, you get a little bit of approval here with those 4. Again, assuming that they're all in the correct radius. Okay, so next up, I'm actually going to make my way to the Githyanki raiding party. And I kind of wanted to ninja my way over to them and not get into any other fights. So basically I went past the area where we met Scratch for the first time, jumped across the river, and then made my way up to where Gale's inspiration is here, you know, with the 2 skeletons, which I guess are like, you know, the Druid or Harper skeletons. And then basically you just crawl up that, or climb up that wall there. And we'll just make our way around Joaquin's Rest. Back there is actually a battle with some hyenas and some gnolls. I didn't want to do that quite yet. We'll do that a little bit later. And then here I'm just kind of going to try to hug the wall. And again, stay away from Joaquin's Rest as best as you can. There are some events that happen there, and if you're not careful and you activate them too quickly, you won't be able to do them kind of in the way that I want to. So again, just be very, very careful when you're making your way down to this spot. There is an NPC up here kind of watching the scene below, and I'm actually going to steal from her and then knock her out. She's not important in terms of, I mean, really for anything else as far as I know. I think there might be, you know, some point in the game where you, like, I don't know, come across her body or something. And the funny thing is, like, she's kind of, you know, decided to go her own way. I think you can actually, like, kind of ask her if she wants to join you, and she refuses, and unfortunately it kind of looks like it kind of leads to her death. But anyway, so here I entered turn-based mode after stealing from her. I probably didn't really need to pickpocket her. My guess is that didn't really matter. But here I also am going to just knock her out. I think I got a crit here. Let's see. Pow! Yeah, I got the crit, but I didn't actually one-shot her, which is a little unfortunate because then I lost some approval with her, which again I don't actually think is going to matter at all. We're never going to have any other conversations with her after this point, so nothing to worry about there. And then we're just going to finish her off there, get the 40 experience, and kind of be on our way. There, yeah, I guess we'll grab her equipment as well. I guess that's not going to help her, you know, now that we've robbed her, and it's I guess no surprise then that we'll come across her body later. Apparently now we can say that it's because of our own doing. But the next thing here is that I definitely think it's not a good idea to travel across that bridge there. That will activate a cutscene, and if Lae'zel is in your party, she will run down to the Githyanki patrol down below, and you don't want that to happen, especially if you're kind of like me and you've gone with... I mean, she's going to be the one that disarms Kithrak Voss, and that's the kind of the next step, or the thing that I'm going to do next. I've tried some different things here in terms of what happens to the characters below. There is some flaming fist mercenaries down there, and I kind of thought maybe there would be a way to sneak a little bit of experience from them, but you just can't. Anytime you get anywhere close here, it automatically starts a conversation with all of your characters, and it locks them all to it. So you can't even, like, while the conversation is happening, go down there. Also, at this point, like, right around here, you'll want to stop and not go any closer. What you actually want to do there is leave Lae'zel away. But I actually did go down here, and I just wanted to show you this. There is an inspiration for the charlatan here, which is to convince Kithrak Voss to leave without violence. You can go through like the persuasion options, and actually you will get a little bit of experience for Astarion due to that. And then actually you would be able to kill all of the raiding party as well. But I just didn't. That's not the route that I wanted to go. I want to get the two-handed sword from Kithrak, and the only way, unfortunately, to do that is actually to attack him before you even do any conversation with him, because once you start the conversation with Kithrak, it locks all of your characters once again to that conversation, and so you can't do any sort of moving around. So again, just keep that in mind. Also, so again, at this point, I wanted to send Lae'zel away, because again, she's going to be the one that's going to be disarming for me, and or I should say disarming that two-handed sword. And unfortunately, if you go too far here, you will activate a conversation, and this is going to happen regardless of whether Lae'zel is with you or not. But that's basically just the Githyanki taking out the mercenaries, at which point Astarion, instead of Lae'zel, will have a conversation with you, basically warning that the Githyanki are going to mess you up. But once you've gone past that, and once you've had that conversation, then you can go back to the camp and grab Lae'zel if you're going to be using her for this. Also, you absolutely should be using her for this because she gets an inspiration. Basically, the way that I look at this is you can get one inspiration for Lae'zel and the two-handed greatsword, but lose out on a little bit of approval, which I think doesn't really matter. And you'll also lose out on the approval or the inspiration from Astarion, but also I think that's worth it. Okay, so the next thing to do is to get everybody into position. I've got my main character down below. That's not really that important. I probably could have, I guess brought her up with the rest of my characters, but everybody else is going to be up top here. I'm actually going to do Bless. From Shadowheart, we'll bless Astarion, Lae'zel, and my main character. Excuse me. And then let's switch over to Lae'zel. I'm going to quick save, and we're going to try to disarm Kithrak. Disarming attack ranged, and here he is down here. I've actually got a 75% chance. That's not too bad. Although and then I get a crit miss. That's awesome. All right, so basically what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have to save scum this, I'm sure, just a bunch of times. And so I'll do that off screen until I get the weapon to drop, and then maybe I'll actually do the battle as well. Although I don't know that it's super important to see the whole battle, but yeah, that's this could take a few times, and in the past, I've had to reload quite a few saves right here to make sure that I get that two-handed sword disarmed. Okay, so I just got Kithrak to drop his sword, obviously using disarming attack from Lae'zel. You can see it down here on the ground, the silver sword of the astral plane. Now, I'm going to clear up the rest of the Githyanki, and then I'll grab that thing and kind of show you the stats on it. Okay, so this is actually really funny. When you do this, Lae'zel, it kind of acts like she was never there for the battle, which makes really no sense at all. I'm not really sure why that happened, but let's just go with impressive. And if Kithrak Foss finds us before then, and let's leave. And there it is. Lae'zel got her inspiration there for Conquer the Conquerors, as well as now we get to collect all of our rewards. So let's do that. I knocked actually almost all of them out. Oops. Sartha had a great sword, I believe. Raider Zastri had a Githyanki crossbow. Gish, what is this? Foreth had a Githyanki longsword, which was really nice. I'm actually going to use that. I think I sent it over to her. Yeah, here it is, the Githyanki longsword. Pretty good damage on that. I'm actually going to use that in my offhand, I think. We'll see. I might have to mess around with that, but anyways, the big reward here is the silver sword of the astral plane. Now, this thing is just insane for this point in the game. You can see there 9 to 24 damage, 2 die 6 plus 6 slashing, 1 die 6 psionic. That will only work if you're Githyanki, although if you want, you can disguise yourself using the illusion spell. Is it self-illusion? Something like that. I haven't messed around with that too much, but you can disguise yourself as a Githyanki, then equip it, and you'll get that bonus as well. I'm just going to send this over to Lae'zel and basically have her use that probably the entire game. Or I guess maybe at least until I get something better, which don't know when that's going to be, but pretty good outcome to this, I think. You know, like I say, you sacrifice just a little bit of approval with like Lae'zel, and I think even Shadowheart could, you know, potentially get some from that, but then you don't get the sword, and I just don't think that that's worth it. And I mean, we still get the experience from killing off the raiding party, although there would have been a way to do that by, you know, if you talk your way through to get Asterian's inspiration point, you could then go into turn-based mode and just attack them all anyway. So there wouldn't be really anything lost there, but you do have to choose, unfortunately, just because of the way that the conversation plays out. Like, it would have been nice to be able to get the sword, get the approval, and get all of the inspirations, but it's just not possible because of the way that he teleports. And the fact that once that dialogue starts, you're locked into that dialogue. There's no way to like attack him, you know, so you can't get the cheap approval right away, then attack him to be able to get that sword. So that is how I've decided to go about it. Your choice on if you want to do anything different. But that is going to be it for this segment. Okay, next up is getting a piece of really good piece of equipment here in the Blighted Village. So pretty easy to get to. Also, let's get to it. You do want to have Karlach though, as well as Shadowheart. They'll give you, or you'll get some approval with both of them when we go through the dialogue options. So let's get this started. And this is Lump the Enlightened. I don't... I'm going to use my Berserker Intimidation. Alright. Quite the articulate ogre. Unless you don't bear a brand of your own. Forget goblins, you should be fighting for me. Alright, let's see here. And we want to use the persuasion option where it says, I'll pay you in the flesh of the fallen, you will have your fill. By going with this route, we will basically trigger the haunted one, or the dark urge's inspiration. So definitely going to go with that. Looks like I'm going to need to add some bonuses here. Oh, this is so brutal. A difficulty of 20 means I'm basically going to fail this a bunch of times. So at this point, I'm going to save here, and I'll have to reload this most likely when I successfully do this. Okay, so just got my success here on the persuasion check. Actually, it didn't take that long, but... Alright, and there you have the approval from Shadow Hearts. And Karlach, he gives you the horn. And the next thing that we're going to want to do is... I guess we can do a little more discussion here with him, but it's not that important. Right after, you'll want to go into turn-based mode, and there you see Haunted One, Creatures of Bloodlust, and that gave us the inspiration. Now, you'll want to go into turn-based mode right away, because these guys will run out of here really quick, but I don't want to do that. I want to attack them. You technically could do this later if you wanted to call them into battle, but you might as well do it now. So, like I said, go into turn-based mode. We're going to knock them all out, though. Make sure you do not kill them, and I'll pick this up after I've done that. Okay, so now all three are knocked out, and this is the item that I was after, which is called the Warped Headband of Intellect. I'm going to grab that. This thing is amazing for anybody that is not already rocking a 17 for their intelligence score, because it sets the wearer's intelligence score to 17. I absolutely love this. It's going to be great for the main character, because I'm going to be doing a lot of conversations and checks that are going to require intelligence. So again, very, very good item to have. So the next step is actually going to be splitting my potions up and throwing them at the ogres to restore their health. The reason for that is the next time you call these guys into battle, they will start at 1 HP, and most likely they will just be killed, relatively quickly in any battle that you summon them to. So what you want to do here is restore their health all the way to full, and then once you've rested, these guys will disappear. They will go wherever they go, and then you can call them back with the horn to the next battle. So that is it for Lump the Enlightened and his two ogre cronies. Okay, so next up, we are just on the west side of the Blighted Village, on the way to the Goblin Camp. And what we want to do here is actually sneak around the backside of Sazza. If you let her see you, she will actually escort you through the Goblin Camp, and we don't want to do that yet. And actually, she does have a quest once we kind of finally get her to where she needs to be, but for the time being, we actually don't want to do that. There may actually be a case for not rescuing Sazza from the Druid Grove until you've already done this, but I have already done that. So, just to it is a little annoying that you have to sneak behind her, but it's not that big of a deal, right? This was pretty easy. But at that point, what we want to do here is climb up the cragged rock, and also try to. This sentinel up on the perch up there can actually spot you, but it didn't seem like it was that big of a deal. But that said, you don't want these other guards to spot you. What you want to do, though, is you want to sneak down there and speak with Sentinel Olak. And the thing is, you can't let the other guards. You can't hang around down there and basically make the guards kind of yell at you too many times. Otherwise, they'll start the battle, and you'll miss out on some potential approval with your companion. So, again, make sure that you're not doing that. Also, you're going to want to have Asterion and Lae'zel with you for this. Those are the two companions that are going to get the approval. Okay, so I've got this set up the way I want. Lae'zel is with us, as well as Asterion. And I actually did just jump into turn-based mode just because, just to stall. But anyways, we're going to head down and speak with Olak here. Yeah, here you see there's a dude that'll yell at you. Again, you want to make sure that that doesn't happen. I believe it's twice, otherwise you'll start a big fight here. At this point, what we want to do is we want to go with the deception option here. Your leader summoned me. And then we'll just do a guidance bonus here. I'm going to have to do a quick save just in case I fail this. And let's try to roll these dice. Of course I fail. Well, let's see how many inspiration points I have to use up. 3 is not too bad. Let's try to... Okay, alright. Okay, so I got my success on the roll. And we'll do these dialogue options here really quick. He tells you that you need to smear poop on your face if you want to get through. You'll want to say, "You can't be serious." Don't skimp either. Alright, so here's the option. We want to wink, gather the dung, and fling it at all 4 guards. And there it is, the approval from Asterion and Lysel. At which point this will start a fight, and we're going to just clear these guys out. Okay, so cleaned out all of the enemies here at the entrance to the Goblin Village, or this little outpost that they've got here. So next up is actually just going to be making my way in. And yeah, again, definitely don't talk to Saza first. You really need to have her just kind of waiting there. Here we get a little cutscene. I'm going to skip through. Alright, what just happened? Some crazy stuff with an artifact. So once you're in the Goblin Village, here's the trader. You can, you know, talk with him, buy some stuff. I'm going to do that a little bit later, but the one thing that or a couple of the things that I really want to do that are kind of like easy to miss is actually just steal this this roasted dwarf flag. Yoink. And everybody gets angry about that. We're going to talk our way out of it. And I'm going to use intimidation to do so. And let's use some guidance here. Okay, so there is the success here from this intimidation check. I really just wanted to make sure that I didn't, you know, fight those guys. But the reason for stealing that right there, and you don't have to do that intimidation check. Actually, you could wait until later when we clear the goblins all out. But there, I wanted that inspiration, which is good old long pig. I wanted to make sure that I didn't, you know, forget that one. But at this point, we can head on inside here, and we'll have another conversation here that will actually result in another inspiration point, and this time for Asterion. So make sure that you've got him with you when you initiate this next conversation. Okay, so let's take care of this conversation.
As the symbol glows.
Alright, and we want to go with deception on this one, and also you'll want to have Astarion with you. He gets an inspiration point from this. So, all right, then let's actually save here, just to be sure. And okay, so here's the success. I'll hit continue. And then we're going to say I've got an audience with the drow. And there it is, the inspiration, very important parasite, as well as a bunch of experience. So that's the experience for a bunch of the goblins in here. Unfortunately, that also does, or it doesn't mean, though, that we'll get like extra experience when we actually clear them all out. But it's more getting that inspiration point. We didn't, you know, we don't want to lose that. So I guess the extra experience will be Astarion, and then also we'll come back here later to actually turn in the quest to save Saza, which means, you know, we'll have to go all the way back out to where she is at and have her run through. and that will give us, I believe it's the Assassin's Dagger, but I'm not going to get that quite yet. So we will actually do one more inspiration point here real quick. Let's get rid of Gale, and we'll swap. Actually, I don't know that it really matters. I guess I could just
Apart from finding
camp.
decision, but I'll be here.
So we'll travel again later. All right. Okay, so back inside the Goblin camp, you're going to want to make sure that Astarion is with you. And actually, normally I wouldn't have him, you know, or I usually don't have companions initiate conversations, but in this case, we do want to do that. And we want to talk to Crusher here. There's an inspiration point for Astarion if we go through this dialogue. There actually is a lot of companion approval that you can get with some of the other characters or companions. Wow, look at this guy. What happened to your ear, brother? But yeah, I don't want to go that route because I want the extra experience from with Astarion. So let's see here. Making a lot of assumptions here. I don't think I'm better than anyone else. This is kiss my foot.
Worse things have been shoved in your face lately.
Let's see here. Let's go with you can't be serious.
Big ears just for show. You earned me. What was
Sooner
that?
spit in your face. What was that? Alright, so apologize, drop to your knees.
That's more like it.
And then here it is. The rogue sleight of hand, kiss his foot and try to slide the ring off of his toe. Yeah, that was a really easy one to pass. Alright, and actually Shadowheart and Karlach both got approval for that, which is kind of funny.
You enjoying that? Disgusting.
You enjoy that?
Obvious and impressive.
Alright, yeah, the ladies are actually pretty impressed by that. That's funny. And then actually Crusher, I think, is going to end up... I think he ends up leaving and going outside, and you can actually... Yeah, you can kill him out there, which is probably what I'll end up doing. But that does get us Crusher's Ring, which is actually movement speed +3, which is kind of nice. I'm going to put that on my main character because it is nice to be able to, you know, get around the battlefield as somebody who's a melee. So, okay, so the last little bit of experience, and it is a little, as well as just a tiny bit of companion approval that I'm going to do for this one is here, just to the southwest of the roadside cliffs. It's almost directly west of the overgrown ruins. You know, really close to where we actually started is the Scared Boar. In order to get this, though, you'll want to have a potion of animal speaking or some way to, you know, speak with animals. Also, the characters that you can bring here for approval are Shadowheart, Karlach, Gale, or Will. Obviously, there aren't enough spots for the group, so I'm not going to bother with worrying about Will. But anyways, let's head on over here, and we'll speak with the boar here. I'm actually going to chase him a little ways. Get on back there. All right.
Away! Away!
All right, so we're just going to say, calm down, I won't hurt you.
You're all the same. Too many of my kind died because of your spit.
And then go right into attacking him. If you don't do that, he'll just disappear. So you basically have to attack him right then and there. And wow, you had 3 experience. That is a really lame way to end a really good video on or a video where we got a lot of really good stuff. You know, like the helmet from the ogres, and so actually I guess I did get some of the stuff off camera that came from the Goblin Village, but. Anyways, that is going to be it for this one. So as always, I hope the guide was helpful, and thanks for watching.